everyone has their own opinion on Resident Evil games, but the real question is, which ones? There are so many games in the RE series, it's hard to say. So here's my top 5 Resident Evil games ever. Keep in mind, I will consider re-releases counting as well as ports, so no bitching on your parts. So my number 5 is Resident Evil Survivor. Okay, sit down! Sit down! Even though this game is a considerable amount of suckage, you have to give the game props for being the very first FPS in the series. Even though Dead Aim did a better job than this game did, it deserves a spot in RE history. And besides, its canon is proven by number 4, Resident Evil Zero. Despite having a main villain who looked like a sick love child between Seymour and Sephiroth from Final Fantasy, Zero have hounded on there of being the first true blue GameCube exclusive. Item boxes meant the game would be tougher than ever, and dropping important guns or ammo meant a trip to hell and getting it back, but it's also known as being the last appearance of Rebecca Chambers. Where is she? Number 3 is Resident Evil 2, the 64 version. Besides having the nicest character models in the whole RE2-verse, even topping the GameCube version, the 64 version was amazing. First off, being able to fit all that data on the cartridge, then by being able to include the FMV, although toned down a bit in graphics, in the way it looked. It was amazing. Being able to save on the cartridge and cheat codes gave this game amazing replay, but it did not include the extreme battle that was included in the DualShock version. But it's still a great find, and probably the best part about having an N64 nowadays. My number 2 pick is Resident Evil Code Veronica. It's actually kind of scary that this game made my number 2. Frustrating puzzles, painful boss battles, and the trainee twins really should make it my number 6. But it's here for being the best game on the Dreamcast, besides Carrier. I'll get to that in a separate review, although also it was the game that showcased the Dreamcast's power, with amazing visuals and top-notch music. Sadly, it was a port of the PS2 soon after, and the Dreamcast was dead after that. In my opinion, I think the Dreamcast should have had a longer life. It was a great system, but it was killed before it had a chance. Okay, so notes on my number 1. There's so many of the series that deserve this, but in my eyes, there's only one that deserves the spot. That's right. My number 1 is Resident Evil on the GameCube, the original. To get number 1, you had to have a rebirth, and this was a silent one. The GameCube version of RE had the rebirth everyone wanted, looking better than most Xbox and PS2 games at the time, except Silent Hill 2. Once again, get that in another review. Improved voice acting, more rooms than the original, the inclusion of defense items, and some reimagined puzzles made this the best game in the series. Even some of the scares are reworked for the new graphics system. Altogether, when I was moving away from my old house, my parents had to bribe me with a GameCube, and only way I would do that is if I was given this copy of Resident Evil. And it was. It's my favorite Resident Evil of all time, and the reason I have a GameCube to this very day. I'm David Phillips, and I'm killing the gamer with the cat ears, so have fun. Enjoy your copy of Resident Evil 5 when it comes out in 2009 on March 13th. But I'm getting it on the 14th, because I reserve it FYE, which means my copy won't have sticky germy things on it. Let's just forget I said that now, okay?
All I ever wanted was